Okay, hi Gina. I'm here in the problem that you sent me through Ask My Instructor. And what I'm going to do first is open the data in StatCrunch. Now, as soon as that opens, what we need to do is find a 90% confidence interval for the standard deviation. I apologize, it doesn't like to let me move this window around very much, so I'll do my best to show you what I'm doing. First, we need to go to Stat and not summary stats, variance stats with one sample, and we're going to select with data since we have a raw data set. And what we're going to do is first select the variable, just var1, select the column of data, and basically the only other thing you need to do is select confidence interval and type in the level of confidence, which for this one is 0.9 or 90%. Now, one of the important things here is that this is a test for variance, this is a confidence interval for variance, not standard deviation, so we'll have to make some adjustments at the end, but it'll work just fine. So we're going to compute with a 90% confidence interval. The lower and upper limits that we get will need to be adjusted for standard deviation because you notice this is a variance confidence interval, and we are asked to calculate the standard deviation confidence interval, as you see there. And so what we're first going to do is take the square root of this value. I'll copy that, and I'm just going to go to my system calculator here. Let's see if I can get this to work. My system calculator, let's see if I can type that in and take copy paste it in there and then take the square root. So I get 7.311. So the first value here, let's see if we can shrink that. 7.311. And then the second value, I'll highlight this one. Oops. And you can usually triple click that, copy, and then back to the calculator. We'll clear, paste that, and take the square root. We get 15.162. So we'll go 15.162 for the second one. And that seems to come out. So when you're working with these, the variance and standard deviation, one of the things to remember here is that, let's see if we can get these windows back up. When the problem is requesting an interval for standard deviation, you need to make sure that the limits that you get, you need to take the square root of those, because those are specifically for variance, which is sigma squared. If you want the interval for sigma, you just take the square root of each one of these. Similarly, if you have the sample variance right here, you can get the sample standard deviation by taking the square root. So those are just standard procedures for using StatCrunch because we don't have a test that allows us to do the standard deviation interval directly. So I hope that helps a little bit. I'll look at the other problem you sent me in just a moment.